And I want to ask you a very quick question about Congresswoman Marjorie Taylor Greene, who was removed from all congressional committees in 2021. Now she will sit on Homeland Security and the oversight in the new Congress. She doubted 9/11. She doubted a plane hit the Pentagon. She later apologized for that, but she said that in 2018. Should she be on that committee? You were on that committee.
I chaired the committee. There were, these conspiracy theories that people go down. I disagree with this. I'm having to debunk this. This one was the worst violation. 9/11 was not a hoax. It was carried out by Al-Qaeda. There's no question in my mind.
Should she be on the committee?
Well, and anybody that says that, look, this is 2018. I will tell you, she has matured. I think she realizes she doesn't know everything, and she wants to learn and become, I think, more of a team player. I think it's incumbent upon more senior members to try. Look, she's a member of Congress, to try to bring her in and try to educate her that these theories that she has are not accurate.
Would you rather have seen a different choice?
I'm not the chair of that committee, and I'm not the speaker either.
Nice try there. Okay.
Yes, Marjorie Taylor Greene, a 9/11 truther, should be on the Homeland Security Committee because, quote, she's matured. To be clear, Greene suggested that 9/11 was fake when she was 44 years old. Are we seriously pretending like she was a teenager at the time? She was a handful of years away from 50. If you're not already matured by 44, I'm sorry, but I don't think it's just a question of number of years here. Call me high maintenance, but I don't think the United States Congress is where you go to learn for the first time that the worst attack on this country in modern US history actually happened. Maybe having a basic grasp of reality should happen when you're not taking in $174,000 of taxpayer funds. It really is amazing how Republicans wail about wasteful spending, and yet they send people to Congress who waste our time and money learning that the World Trade Center did indeed get attacked on 9/11. This congressman, Republican Michael McCaul, was the chair of the Homeland Security Committee. If a Democrat denied the existence of a plane flying into the Pentagon on 9/11, do you think Michael McCaul would have been as forgiving? Do you think he'd have suggested that a Democrat was learning or just maturing? Or do you think Michael McCaul would have found it in himself to acknowledge basic reality that someone who is susceptible to the basest forms of manipulation, maybe, just maybe, shouldn't be on a committee that's responsible for overseeing our national security? Take all the time you need with that one. But here's what's most amazing. McCaul suggests that it's incumbent upon more senior members in the Republican Party to educate people like Marjorie Taylor Greene about the legitimacy of these conspiracy theories. First off, again, is that really the best use of time of senior members of Congress to convince other members that the worst terror attack in US history did indeed happen? Should they also spend their time teaching younger members how to drive stick and how to bake bread? Like, this isn't a daycare service or a school, it is the federal government. And yet the fact that Republicans can't seem to realize that should probably give everybody pause. But second, and more importantly, are we really going to rely on senior Republicans to educate other Republicans when senior Republicans are just as likely to traffic in conspiracy theories? This is basically an entire party that refuses to say that Joe Biden won the 2020 election. An entire party that refuses to say that Trump incited the events of January 6th. Are we really relying on senior Republicans as if they're these defenders of honesty? These people lie just as much, if not more, than Marjorie Taylor Greene. The difference is that they do just a better job of getting all of their colleagues on board. And then when they all collectively play make-believe, they have a little more plausible deniability. And of course, when you add in a media that's completely susceptible to being gamed, then Republicans have a relatively easy time pretending that their imaginary scenarios are real. And so even though we have literal text messages from January 6th from Fox hosts and Republicans to Mark Meadows where these people acknowledge that Trump was responsible for January 6th and that it was incumbent on him to send his followers home in public, those same people came out and pretended that it was Antifa or the FBI or whatever other desperate lies they could cook up. But because they were all aligned, and because it's so easy to game the refs in this country when it comes to our media, they all managed to come across as credible, at least to half of this country. But let's be clear, just because they can coordinate their lies doesn't mean they're not lying, because that is exactly what they're doing. So this idea that there's somehow more honesty or integrity among senior Republicans versus regular Republicans is as big a joke as you could possibly find. The simple fact is that even these Republicans who've been able to market themselves as reasonable or moderate are just as hacky as the Lauren Boeberts and Matt Gaetzes. Michael McCaul will twist himself into pretzels to apologize for Marjorie Taylor Greene because neither he nor the rest of his party would ever ever put our national security above party. They will defend even the most unqualified people on the planet if it means holding the conference together. Because at the end of the day, the priority isn't the country, it's not the Constitution, it's not our national security. It is simply maintaining their grip on power by any means necessary. Before you go, if you enjoyed this video and want to see more, please make sure to subscribe to my channel. You can click the thumbnail right here on this screen. And if you want to support my work even further, the best way is to subscribe to my podcast, No Lie with Brian Tyler Cohen. There you can check out my interviews with major players in the world of politics, including President Biden, Vice President Kamala Harris, Pete Buttigieg, Elizabeth Warren, Katie Porter, Jamie Raskin, and so many more. Plus other interviews that live exclusively on the podcast. That link is also right here on this screen, or just search No Lie with Brian Tyler Cohen wherever you listen to podcasts.